Hi, I'm Becca Otis from Five Lines Pottery in Indianapolis, Indiana.
And I'm Ryan Durbin from RD Ceramics, located in Southgate, Kentucky.
And welcome to Wheel Talk.
Hey guys, we've loved answering all of your questions so far. If you'd like to hear your question on the podcast, please send them to us on Instagram at Wheel Talk Podcast or by email to wheeltalkpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks.
Alrighty then.
Oh, it didn't start, but I'll match it up when I hit it and it just didn't go. So,
Mine started. We're live.
can we both clap on or click on 10, I guess. Ready? Okay. Thanks. Sweet. Hi, we're live.
Hi.
Hi. So, me and Ryan we were reflecting on the conversation that we had on Monday with Tim C, and so I think that we're just gonna kind of jump into that. So
You don't even want to talk about the other stuff first?
Oh yeah, we could do that too. This is gonna be a short episode, by the way. It's like an hour. So
Yeah. Yeah, we don't really have any updates. We just chatted yesterday, so. I did have a show this past weekend. I want to share that because that was great.
I'm ready. Let's hear it.
All right, so I did Madison Chautauqua in Madison, Indiana.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah, so it's about an hour and a half from Cincinnati. It's kind of like a small, cute town. It's like they got a lot of historic buildings, and Rachel was really impressed with the quality of their buildings being actually restored instead of brand new builds and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's so nice.
Good sounds like small town. And the show was right on the river, so it was great views, and it's a little windy, but nice show. I don't know how many vendors are, maybe 250 vendors, something like that. But sold there for the first time. I sold $4,500 worth.
Get it.
It was good.
2 days.
2 days, yeah. Saturday, Sunday. Got there Friday. It was the first time I used my new vehicle as well.
Yeah.
That was nice. Filled it up. Had enough room I could see out the back window.
Wow.
It was a little weird because I didn't know I was trying to organize things so that if I had to stop all of a sudden, I wouldn't get shot glasses to the back of the head or something like that. So I did have to figure out organizing it in such a way.
It might behoove you to potentially put up some sort of homemade guard right behind your front.
Yeah.
You're
behind
right
my
behind
seats.
your seats, just to be careful, because
what would that be made out of, and what would secure it? It would just be a board the weight would be displaced between both seats.
Maybe. I don't know.
Or just protect something from flying through the front windshield.
Yeah, I've always seen fences between, or maybe just figure out how to secure it down in the vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, I was putting boxes horizontally so that it didn't just line up with in between the seats, and I'm not putting a shot glass bin right there in the front, so it would slide or anything like that. But yeah, so that was good.
I bungee cord some stuff down, in my car.
Do you to the straps in the floor or something, or
if you have straps on the floor, definitely. Yeah.
I don't know if there are. There might be. I could probably loop it to the mounting of the seats or something.
Yeah, you'll find someplace that'll be easy to find.
So that was good, and got everything in and out of there. It was nice being able to throw stuff back in the vehicle after unloading and things. And I got to leave everything in the car, which is nice. I have the show this weekend, and I got to leave everything in there. I do have to figure out what to replace and all that stuff. But yeah, bestseller soup bowls. I brought 18 of those, and I sold all 18.
Okay, and let's be clear. When you said soup bowls, I did not think they had a handle on them.
It's basically a cereal bowl with a handle
on them. So they're like cappuccino cups almost.
No, it's a regular size cereal bowl. It's a 1.5 pound cereal bowl with a handle.
I know. So anyway, it's a bowl with a handle. A bowl with a handle. I was like, how the fuck did you sell 18 soup bowls? But you actually sold 18 massive fucking mugs.
So what did you? Yeah. So what did you think the soup? Did
I
you?
thought it was just a fucking
You just didn't think it
bowl.
was handled. You thought it was
Yeah.
like a medium-sized bowl, like a smaller than
Yeah.
a cereal bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like a big bowl.
Yeah, so when you showed it to me with a handle, I was like, oh, that makes sense. Of course
Yeah,
they
I just call them soup bowls because it's a handled cereal bowl.
Yeah.
So 18 of those. I realized I think my price is too low. It was $30.
Needs
So I'm
to
going
be
to try
45.
it.
45.
Okay. Well, first I'm going to try them at 35 at the next show.
38.
35.
38.
And we're going to see how they sell it. $35.
38.
And then the hard part is I can't legitimize like taking a $26 bowl, putting a handle on it, and adding more than
How much are your mugs?
34.
Are they smaller than the soup bowl mug?
Yes.
Duh. Then you just legitimize
I feel like
the
it's got to be relative to the cereal bowl because it's the exact same thing as the cereal
No.
bowl, but it's got a handle.
No. It's got a fucking handle. And it's round,
I know. I
like,
normally add
wide
like
round.
$5 to $8 for a handle.
Yeah, no. Yeah, 38. Do it at 38. Everybody's yelling at you through the webs right now.
I just want to see how they sell it. 35.
Okay,
and
fine.
then
Selling at 35.
it's already a strain for me to go to 35 from 30. I was going to do
Bullshit.
32, and you were like, 32 is nothing.
It is.
Got to go more. And then we talked to Tim yesterday, and he was like 45, and I'm like, no fucking way. And he was like 50. And I'm like, can't live with myself. But a lot of people bought them as pairs. In pairs. So yeah, we'll see. I already was making some new ones.
I did a show this weekend, and I have two things to say. One, so I did a show at a beer festival. It was like a loggers fest, in preparation for Oktoberfest. And I'd never been to one of those. And if you want to have a great fucking afternoon and you just want to like take your pots along, you should definitely fucking go to a loggers fest. I got into the beer festival for free. They didn't charge me to be there, which I don't know if that was like a normal thing, but it was $0 to participate. And I got a bracelet that gave me all the beer I wanted. And
Really?
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah. And it
was like a ticketed
blast.
thing where you just get samples or something at the different tents?
Yeah, there's no tickets. They pay like $65 and you can get as much beer as you want.
So you were there as like an added feature. with
Right, like
pottery.
they paid a lot of money to get in. And then I was like next to a brewery who I'm definitely going to go visit. And
Were they all local breweries?
yeah, they were all local.
Nice.
So, and apparently this is like a normal thing. As somebody who doesn't like go to beer festivals, I never knew.
I've been to a few.
They like pay them for 20 gallons of beer, and they like so the people buy the tickets, and then the company who puts on the beer festival pays them for 20 gallons of beer, each brewery, and then they bring them ice and stuff, and then like. Yeah, and then when you sell out, you leave.
Wow.
And like, and they do little pours. It's not like big ones, but you get a cup and you can take it
Like
around
a
to
5
different
ounce
people.
or something like that.
Yeah,
6
and like
ounce.
it's a regular size cup though. And yeah, I had a lot of fun. I didn't sell a ton of stuff because I was at a beer festival with wine glasses, but I still made like $300, and I'm not upset. Like,
It sounded like a fun time.
yeah, it was a great time. I was like, this is fantastic. Also, there was wiener dog races. Like, how fucking cute and adorable. Like, it was the least threatening event.
Were they wearing costumes?
A lot of them were. It was like the least threatening event I've ever been to.
Nice.
On top of that, though, like at a festival like that, the biggest concern for people, customers, is I don't want to carry this around because I'm going to get shit-faced.
Exactly. Just like a
And
music festival. Like,
just like a
you
music
just get
festival.
there.
So my solution to that, and it has always been my solution, is I can hold this for you if you just give me your name and your phone number. And almost everybody came back. One person did forget them. And I was way too nice.
You almost like have them pay to ship it or something?
I should have, but
Or they come pick it up?
If they were like right in Lawrence, I would have no problem been like, hey, here you go. Or I was hoping they could come pick it up at the farmer's market, but they're going to be out of town. So I'm just going to drive by their house and drop it off on their front porch tomorrow. But not ideal situation, but this lady is really bad at communicating. So I wanted out of my life. But
do you have earrings too?
What?
Do you have earrings
that I was selling at the show? Yeah. And I sold like quite a bit.
Yeah, I would think the earrings would go easier because they could literally just put them on or put them in their purse or whatever.
And what was great is one lady bought a cup and she like went around and got all of her beers out of that cup. So that was cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, there was another guy that was a potter, and he had like legit like beer steins, and I think that was definitely his market. He must have done really well. So, yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, it was fun. It like I would go again. Like,
yeah.
You know,
there's many of those kind of events in Cincinnati. Like we have the the Oktoberfest, obviously.
Yeah.
There's like a beer fest in the convention center, and then there's like Taste of Cincinnati, which is all
they have like Taste of Indiana and stuff like that, and I'm like, wow, this is like a whole thing.
It's great.
And like everybody knows everybody. It's like a whole community. Now, I don't think that I would go to multiple events because the same people that go to all the events go to all the other events, It'd be like a farmer's market for drunk people. But like it was fun to do like once.
Was it one day or 2 days?
Just one day, one afternoon.
Okay. That's not bad.
Yeah.
What was it? Were there entertainment or something? Or just...
Lots of music. I think they had some beer chugging competition at the end. The wiener dogs were mostly the entertainment.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nice. That sounds good.
Yeah.
That's probably better than being at another one and you're literally sitting there while people just walk by without... And you got a bunch of free booze. Which is sweet.
Yeah, so that was nice. And I mean, like, I didn't get drunk or anything, but the guy next to me did.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, we did want to mention a couple things. So we have a couple events coming up. One, Pot Swap's coming up.
Yep.
Sign up October 16th. I think this might be out after that, but if it's still open, get in there now. October 16th, 12 p.m. Eastern. We're getting 1,000 people in there. And if you got in, congrats. If you did not, come back and see us Pot Swap 2023. And get busy making stuff.
Yep.
And then we've got... Becca and I will be presenting at ClayCon West 2023. That's in January 13th through 15th in St. George, Utah. We've been going there. Is this our third year there? Fourth year?
Mm-hmm.
Third year? I think it's third year. And we've presented at the last two. You presented 2 years ago. I presented... Not 2 years ago. 3 years ago.
Will be our third year because COVID happened in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We started going 2019 or 2020 technically. I think it was January 2020 when you started your presenting about wheel throwing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll be there for the third time. Should be good. We'll have a discussion about selling at art shows.
Yeah, and it won't be the same as last year. Like we try to keep it different every year. So we're not boring.
And if you want to listen back to the discussion from last year, we have an episode about it.
Yeah.
That's actually like from our actual presentation. It's just the audio version of it. So you should check that out. I'm trying to pull up what episode that is. But anyways, we'll be there presenting. There's a lot of good presenters. Who are the other presenters that are there?
Diana Adams. That's it.
Delvin
That's all I
Good.
know.
Delvin Good and Carol Long are the main stage
main stage
presenters, which are the longer term. They're doing like start to finish work, and they'll talk about their process and answer questions and whatnot throughout. And then the smaller presentations are they're all at about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I think hour and a half. And we're presenting on Friday, so make sure you get there Friday.
Yeah, and if you are the type of person that doesn't like NCECA because there's so many people, this is the type of event you want to go to. There's like 200 people tops. It's very open, spread out, like very family type vibe situation going on. Not threatening at all.
Yeah, it's pretty chill. You're not going to be overwhelmed with just like overstimulate with people.
Yeah, it's not overstimulating at all. It's really great. Joe and his wife Emily are just like the sweetest hosts. So.
Mm-hmm. If you want to hear back from 2022, that's episode 131. We're live at ClayCon West.
It was in Ogden, Utah? It's not in Ogden, Utah. Did you say it was in
St. George, Utah? Yeah. St. George, Utah, which is beautiful in January. It's nice and sunny.
And you guys
you're right there by Zion.
Yeah, you went to Zion last year.
Yeah. So we usually make it a long weekend. And the good thing about it is it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's not like, or maybe it's, hold on. Let me confirm that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, not Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's over the weekends. And it's not taken out of your work day if you have a full-time job and whatnot. So yeah, it's a good event, and we'll have some pots for sale. Other people will have pots for sale that are presenting, and we like to chat with people and answer questions live and have kind of a live podcast, basically.
Yeah.
And anything else? Did you hear Autumn? She's been napping on my lap.
That was like a very sassy meow.
Anything else about ClayCon West?
I don't think so.
Okay. I think early registration might have already ended. It's at the end of September is when it is, unless they extended it for some reason. So if you're hearing this and registration's still open for early bird, get on it. And let's see. The last thing is I was listening to one of the episodes with Maker's Playbook, Rebecca, and Ben Carter from Tales of the Red Clay Rambler. They kind of like co-interviewed each other on the different podcasts. Mm-hmm. And then they mentioned that that Ben is host of the Brickyard Network, which hosts a number of different podcasts like Clay and Color and For Flux's Sake and a number of other ones that he's kind of like in charge of. And they're doing a room at NCECA in Cincinnati in 2023. Obviously, we will be at NCECA, and they're going to allow us to do I was like, hey, looking forward to what y'all do. And he's like, do y'all want to do a live podcast at NCECA? We're figuring out rooms and all that stuff and guests. So I think we have the option to like pick a guest and chat with them. And he's going to record it since he's got all the techie stuff, and it's going to be a room specific for that. And then there'll be like live audience that can watch and ask questions and stuff like that. So we'll get more details about that, but look forward to that info as we get closer.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully I'm there. I'm not going unless Link pays for my ticket. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. I'll probably, if I have to pay for my ticket, I'll probably just volunteer. Because I think you can volunteer 8 hours.
You can volunteer. I think it's, 8 hours or 12 hours or something like that.
Yeah. That sounds great to me.
Yeah. Honestly, these days, the networking is better for me, education-wise in the demo room or the vendor hall than doing all the, presentations and stuff like that are more, I feel like academia related, education related.
Mm-hmm.
Because they tend to be more like artsy, in my opinion, than
Yeah.
because I care more about like business stuff than art stuff. So, but yeah, we'll see. It's in Cincinnati, which is where I live. Basically, we're in the Cincinnati shirt today
Yeah. So Becca gets a free hotel room.
at Casa de Derbin.
Yeah. I feel so bad because all my friends are like, "Oh, you're going down to Seek," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm staying at Ryan's house," and they're like, "Oh," and I'm like, you know, in my brain, my Colorado Midwest, actual West Midwest brain, I'm like, "Oh, I should invite them," and I'm like, "No, Becca, don't."
Invite who?
Like, just the people who are like, "Oh, you could stay at Ryan's house," but they can't. They cannot stay at Ryan's house. Not everybody can stay at Ryan's house. So
Yeah, I think we can host a very specific number of people, which might be like 3 or something. Like,
yeah. So,
but yeah, we'll see.
And also for everybody who's wondering, I haven't said this a lot lately. Colorado is the real Midwest, and Indiana is Mideast.
Mideast.
Okay, continue.
Because somehow Ohio is Midwest. Like, the fuck?
The fuck? Like, hello.
All right. I think that was all on my list of announcements, I guess.
Sweet. I have a mini announcement that can segue into our conversation about. We're kind of like we kind of want to unpack the talk that we had with Tim C, because it was a lot, and obviously we differ a lot from the way that he sells, but that doesn't mean that we weren't like impacted a lot by what he talked about. You know, a lot of the times we have guests that we're friends with and sell just like us and blah, blah, blah. And he's just a total flip from what we do. And so it's always good to have somebody like that on. But I've decided that by the end of the year, I'm gonna have 80-20 jewelry, pottery.
80% jewelry, 20% pottery. After the end of the year?
Well, getting to the end of the year, my goal is to have 80-20. Whenever that happens, it's fine.
What are you doing right now? Well, are you talking income or are you talking
quantity?
Making.
Right now, and how my booth is set up and stuff.
Okay.
Right now, it's definitely like pottery focused, and I want it to be more jewelry focused. So,
yeah, I mean, I would suppose jewelry is more lucrative price-wise if you can sell, like...
Yeah, for sure. And you know what's crazy? Like, I was talking to Deanna today, and I was like, you know, for some reason, to me, like, having a $40 pair of earrings is absolutely acceptable. I've bought a $120 pair of earrings. Like, it's absolutely acceptable to me, and for some reason, a fucking cup, it's like $15 is like, whoa. And I don't know why that mental block is there. Maybe it's because I've just been doing pottery for so long.
I wonder if it's because you wear the earrings out and about. I feel like you retain value. You get more value out of it the more you wear it.
Yeah.
And you get compliments, and the compliments add up to the value of what you get out of it, right?
Yeah, and also it's like it's like my collection of earrings is vast. You know.
And some people just get tired of things.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I would not get rid of old pottery that I've been using, but I mean, sometimes I do because I get more that I use more, but yeah. I'm not going to like throw a piece of pottery away. But jewelry, do you feel like it's easier for you to like get rid of, or do you just keep all of it?
I just keep all of it, but what's great about it is that it's so small. So it's so like,
right.
You can keep all of it. Like, I can't keep any of the pots that I have as I go into a van, but I can keep all the jewelry.
But how often would you have occasions that you wear jewelry in the van life versus now?
I don't know. I don't see.
Or
now.
do you generally wear jewelry on a daily basis?
I do if I leave. If I leave my house, I typically do. And to be fair, a lot of the jewelry I have is what I've made.
To be fair.
To be fair. To be fair. But yeah, so I'm considering like pricing and stuff, and I was, yeah, and just kind of like doing that. But what really stuck with me, what Tim said that I was like, ugh, was when he was talking about like the lowest thing in your booth is the thing that the people that want to support you are gonna buy, and
Yeah,
and I was
I
like,
heard that too, and I was like,
God damn it.
damn. Yeah. What's the lowest thing in your booth right now? Pinch pot?
Yeah, I think so. Pinch pot, $8 or 3 for 20. But technically, the $15 one is because I don't know very many people that buy an $8 pinch pot. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, and he was talking about the range of prices. So if you start the range at 8 and it goes up to fancy cup 125 maybe. You know, that's the range, and people are going to be like, I want to be in the middle. So they get something that's $50 versus, or they get 2 cups for 50 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there's definitely some mental psychology around that.
Yeah.
He also sparked me to want to look into some of that. I mean, he mentioned NLP, which is interesting. I think that was neuro-linguistic programming. Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think so. That was cool.
Which is kind of like psychology focused, but also like talking to people in a way that is kind of like helps you with sales, but also is a little can be used for nefarious purposes with like manipulation and stuff.
Yeah,
but,
it can be kind of sleazy, but you there's a fine line. That's what
yeah.
he said.
But yeah, I think just there's definitely things to be learned that are not just like reading a sales book, but it's learning about human psychology and that's interesting. And I would say there's some pricing things in there that like my brain might be like, I want to spend this much money, but I never thought of it like this is the range of prices.
Right.
I want to get something in the middle because that's what I'm looking for versus.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't see. I just assumed that people had this price point in their mind, and if nothing on the table matched that price point of $25-$30, then they're not going to get anything because it's just not in their price range.
But I also think that it's fair to I think it's really important to talk about the fact that he also said, like while he was talking about pricing, he also referred to a morality concept within that pricing. So like, you know, he's not throwing out like he's not putting out pinch pots that he makes in 10 seconds and dips and like here you go, it doesn't trim. You know, he's like spending time on the pieces that he sells for $50. You know, like
and it's very evident.
It's very evident that it is worth the $50 that he is.
Or it's wood fired, where
so
you're not
like,
getting that without a long process.
So I think that that's very important to like talk about because like I think that potentially our pieces are priced correctly, but the difference is maybe we should be cutting out those smaller pieces, you know, like
completely and elevating our selection
and
of
elevating
inventory.
our selection, because like I was talking to Deanna today and kind of like talking about that. And if you don't know, Deanna's my friend who sells jewelry, and we met.
Okay.
Yeah, so she.
And what's Deanna's account? I feel like you've mentioned her before.
Oh yeah, you should definitely go follow her because she's trying to sell more online. It's Glazed Confused Creations. On Instagram, and she sells the most amazing mid-century modern like clay jewelry. Anyway, so we were talking about it, and I forgot what I was gonna say. What were we
You're talking about the range of pieces and cutting out lower priced.
Like she sold small jewelry like plates, almost like jewelry organizing plates for like $40, and I was like, I don't think I could quantify selling a pinch pot for $40 because that is absolutely not what it is worth. like it's not worth $40, and it never will be because it's just not, you know. But if I like painted on it and like did some fun things to it, then I could potentially sell it for $40 because then
Yeah.
I've put in the work to make it that price. Like,
And it's not priced. She's not pricing it that way as a deterrent, so that it's
No.
like, I want fewer people to buy it.
No.
I want lower supply, higher demand, or there's not many people that need it, and I have a low supply, so it's
Yeah.
like, I just want a few people to buy it, so I don't have to make 4 times as many and sell them at a quarter of the price.
right. Yeah, it's not because everybody was buying them. It's just that, like, because she was selling jewelry for $40, and she was like, well, I can't have something less than my jewelry because then people are going to buy that. And not
And
the
jewelry
jewelry.
is the main thing,
Yeah.
right?
And so I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh, shit. Like, if I'm going to start selling jewelry and, like, high-end jewelry, like, not high-end, but, like, medium-end jewelry, then I need to make sure that what's in my booth is medium to high-end pottery. So I'm going to start doing more fancy cups, more mini fancy cups, maybe some small fancy bowls, and, like, just leave it at that, and see kind of how that rolls around. Because the shitty cups were supposed to be a side gig, and then it turned into a full-time thing. And here I am. So I'm doubling the prices of the shitty cups. They're now $30.
Okay, I saw you asking about the price that you thought people thought it was worth, I guess, is kind of the way you worded it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna make them $30. And I'm not gonna call them shitty pots.
What are you calling them?
Wine cups.
I thought you were calling them something.
Oh, yeah. Maddie was like, you should call them 1-minute pots. And I was like, yeah, that's good. But also I think I'm...
Just minute. I thought it was just minute cups
pots.
or
Yeah,
something.
minute pots. And I was like, that's good too. But also, like, at a show, if somebody's like, what's that? Oh, it's a wine glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough. I was just pulling up my Square sales while I was talking.
Oh,
while you were
side
talking.
note, did you see that Square's going to do tap to pay now?
I just saw that. I just opened the app and I was like, what the fuck is this? So
if you
don't
haven't
need
signed
a
up for Square,
contactless-
sign up now, and you have like a nice phone. Yeah.
Yeah. Ask for my referral or something and we can...
Oh, yeah. Whatever. Anyway, okay, how does it work? Do we
Just sign
know?
up. Tap to pay?
Yeah, like,
I mean, I assume it's just like tapping onto the Apple Pay, like the little contactless payment.
Yeah, but I think it was like, did it add to the wallet? Like, where do I find it?
I don't know. Mine didn't set up correctly when I just tapped it, so I'm gonna have to look at it later. But, anyways, I was looking at my Square sales and just seeing what I would miss out on if I were to like cut out Spoon Rest completely.
Okay, by the way, you just literally type it in and then you say tap to pay on iPhone and it like pops up.
And it goes into your Square account?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure that wasn't you trying to pay something?
No, I just put out, like, I just typed in $85 on the Square to charge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, continue.
So I was looking at, okay, what if I were to cut out Spoon Rest, air plant, and then like shot glass.
Mm-hmm.
Like Spoon Rest is my highest grossing item for the year.
Okay.
$4,300.
I
My second closest is mugs at $4,000.
Okay. What are your oil bottles at?
Oil bottles, $3,900. They're all very close. Top 3: Spoon Rest, mug, oil bottle.
It's interesting, like, I don't know if you'd be willing to try this or not, but it would be interesting to see how much you would sell without Spoon Rest. Like...
Yeah. I think I would rather go no shot glasses.
Oh, for sure. I would also.
Than no
sure.
Spoon Rests.
Yeah. The Spoon Rests are nice. I like the Spoon Rests.
I think it would be a nice challenge, a nice test to remove shot glasses and maybe price Spoon Rests at 18.
20.
Or maybe
Just do it at
20.
Yeah.
And just seeing what happens. But the spoon rests at 4,300, 200, almost 300 spoon rests.
Yeah, that's insane.
So, I mean, how much time is that? Each spoon rest is probably 30 seconds to throw, 300,
Probably a
it
minute
adds up.
before glazing.
Yeah. And then mug-wise, I almost sold the same amount of mugs, but that's 130 mugs.
Mm-hmm. And that's what he was saying. It's like, do you want to work harder for the money that you're making, And I mean, we always go back and forth on this quantity versus quality, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's always a thing.
But we could also equally, like, you're deciding to up your simple cups.
Yeah.
Like, I could do the same with spoon rests. I'm trying to comfortably increase it so that I'm like, okay, I'm going to work a little bit less, but like maybe I just need to make like an uncomfortable jump.
Yeah.
And just see what happens.
Why
that
not?
Like they're to a standard that they're so nice that people are going to buy them whether they're 20 or 15.
Okay, but here's the difference. There's a little bit of a difference between my jump and your jump. My jump is because I sell my pots for a lot fucking less than everybody else.
Uh-huh.
Your jump.
You don't think people sell spoon rests for $20 versus 15?
Oh, I thought you were going to go to $30 for a spoon rest.
No, I was going to go from 15
20,
to 20.
I think 20 is great. Should I sell
instead
my
of making
spoon
a
rest
comfortable
for
bump of like
too?
15 to 18, I would go 15 to 20.
Okay.
Just to see what happens.
I'm going to sell my spoon rest for $20 too. This is fun. We should do this more. So I'm going to sell my spoon rest for $20 as well. I'd keep telling people.
I might not do it like super quickly because I actually have those signs that are made that are like fancy.
Yeah.
But maybe I can get some for the holidays.
Well, if you want, I can add them. I'm getting more of my little earring holders printed by Justin. Rebecca has a Glowforge, and I can add in smaller little price signs if you want to send me the files.
I mean, I have a friend that's local that does it for me.
Oh, okay.
I could just contact her to make me a couple.
Yeah, P.S. If
but
you
yeah,
have a Glowforge
I think
near you, have your fucking price signs printed on them. I swear to God, people like those more than my pots.
Yeah, I mean, some people aren't even going to read them. People just don't read. but yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I knew that I didn't want to make my Glowforge printed price tags until because I knew my prices were going to go up after the farmer's market. I felt it was unfair to increase my prices so drastically during the farmer's market. So
I just think we internally feel like other people are looking at our prices so much that they're going to notice.
I don't know about you, but that's not
like we have a customer.
For me. People fucking tell me that my prices are too high all the time, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
But are they comparing from the last time they saw you? Like, if you raised your price $5 on something, are they going to remember it the next week that they see you?
I don't know, but, like, I've had multiple people at the farmer's market come up and be like, $15 for a cup? That's really expensive. And I'm like, you're fucking crazy. That is really cheap.
But that's not your market.
Like...
That's not the person you're trying to get, though.
Yeah, no, it's
that's
not.
That's what we're actively saying. We want to raise them so that we're attracting a certain...
Yeah.
person willing to spend it, and there are people that are willing to spend it if it matches what they're looking for.
And it just like, I mean, I'm not gonna be planning on selling like super expensive stuff at the farmer's market. I want to go back to the farmer's market probably with just jewelry though next year, but but yes. Anyway, yeah, no, like going to a nicer show and like having nicer stuff and selling nicer things and or even like my stuff is nice just as it is, so is yours. We got that going for us. We have good craft.
Yes. We cut corners on some things, but I feel like we refine them enough to where it's not passed over. Oh. Like not trimming an inner foot, but it's like we still treat the bottom appropriately.
Yeah.
So it's still smooth and all that stuff.
For sure.
But also that makes the price more
Do you know
affordable.
What you could do with your coasters too? Like selling them at $20? I was thinking about this is just like adding in a couple cork stickers for the bottoms.
To every single one?
I used to just hand them the stickers. like a set of 4. Like just, I had a strip and I used to cut them into sets of 4 and then just give them to him when I sell the piece so that it doesn't like...
Would you ask them or just always give it to
Just
them?
always give it to him. Here's some cork for the bottom. That way it says level and it, like if it didn't. And,
I would do 3 because 3's...
Well, yes, you do 3, but you give him 4 because that's a lot easier to cut.
Oh. Okay. Then you don't have to have the conversation of why'd you give me 3 or something.
Yeah. Yeah, so I used to do that with sponge holders, and they went over quite well. People were very happy about it.
Nice. Okay. I didn't think about that. There are some people that have mentioned, like, a couple people at my last show just mentioned about the cork. And I was like, yeah, like, I've got on these yarn bowls. They got the cork on the bottom, like, just a little sticky.
You can get those, like, 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch cork circles on a roll.
Yeah, mine are 1/2 inch on a big roll.
Yeah. They're pretty cheap.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that, too, for the spoon rest.
Yeah, and also I think some pieces can be not a distraction, but it could clog up the view of your booth.
Oh,
that
yeah.
if people are looking at the small things, then they're taking eyes away from people that are might be more likely to buy something bigger or more pricey. That, like, how long does it take for people to look for a shot glass that they like or a spoon rest that they like?
Yeah.
Like, there's some people that have... There was this one couple that came at the very beginning, and they were getting mugs, and they wanted to see every single small mug that I had, and they were, like, looking for it holds, like, 5 ounces, like, the littlest amount.
Oh, my God.
And it was the very beginning of the day, and I've literally pulled out every single one, and she's like, nope, they're not going to like that. No, we can't do that one. And then they must have spent, like, 12 minutes there looking at... 12 or 15 minutes there, like, looking at these mugs, and it was...
Did they buy anything or did they walk
They ended up
away?
buying 2.
Okay.
They ended up buying 2 mugs.
That would
But
not be worth it.
they were 2 $26 mugs.
Yeah.
So I mean, it wasn't that much, but it was like, geez, very particular. But that's why I have the very small mugs, and then I have the very big mugs. That people that tend to like the big mugs are very quick to be like, these are the 4 big mugs I got. Here's your choice, and they're like, I like that one. Go.
Yeah.
All right.
Small mug people, particular people.
Yeah. They were older folks too, so they were like, it can't be too heavy, and I don't drink. It's about half a cup of coffee,
Yeah.
So they were very particular, but hey, that's probably the last mug they're gonna use for a long time,
Wow. Way to wish their death on them.
Whatever.
Anyway. Yeah.
What else resonated with you? Anything else about pricing or I feel like we talked a lot about show things as well.
Oh, I've always loved his story about the coins.
Oh, the B-backs.
The B-back coins. I've always loved that. And in the past, I've always been like, that is so much fucking work to make, like, coins.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, how, like, the bags and situations, I'm like, and just the amount of discussion you have to give somebody a coin. Like,
Right.
It adds up.
Right. And, like, but I do feel like that is, that's, like, the ticket to success for him, is, like, those extra little things that stand out, And,
But
like...
yeah.
And
that's the thing. Most people are going to say, hey, that's way too much work. That's not worth it.
Exactly.
But if you put in that work, it could be worth it.
Yeah.
Like, how many people would you need to come back for it to be worth it?
Yeah. So I'm planning on making coins, and he makes really elaborate coins. I'm gonna make super simple ones that aren't glazed.
Yeah.
And just throw them in the rock tumbler and just like get them super smooth. So.
Are you going to let them keep it?
Yeah.
In the end?
Yeah.
They're not going to give it back to you?
Oh yeah. No, I'd like.
He said they give them back to him.
Yeah, I'd probably like him to give them back.
But you can let them play with it. I mean, I feel like the tactileness and the dots and things are going to bring them back, and then they're going to be like, do I have... And then you can have that discussion of, you can keep it, but you have to bring it back the next time you come see me.
Yeah.
But are you worried at all that you're not going to have, like... a home base that people are going to come back and see me, and when can they come back and see you? Like, you don't even have business cards, so like
I have business cards now.
you do.
I found
okay.
them.
Are they business cards though, or are they just like your business name?
They're my business stickers. They have everything on them. They have my.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they have my website and my Instagram on them.
Okay, cool.
So,
all right.
And I swear to God, people like those more than my stuff. I hand them the business cards like, this is so cute. Because it's my fucking face. Yeah, bitch. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But also, like, I just think it's a fun thing, you know? It's just fun, you know,
Yeah.
to do that.
Or if you go to Ensika and you have a bunch of these little coins, and that's what you give. Like, you give people that instead of, like, trading pots or something. You give them a little coin.
Yeah, I think that
That's cool.
I'm for sure going to do that and, like, do the dots on the back for Ensika. And maybe I'll do... I think I have a small in stamp, like maybe the 5-line stamp that I can stamp in. And then, so that'll be lines on the one side and then dots on the back will be cool. Very simple, you know?
Wait, it's a stamp that literally has 5 lines on it?
Yeah, it was my, like, signature stamp with 5 lines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like an underglaze stamp?
No.
3D stamp.
Yeah, 3D stamp. Like a rubber stamp. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I just really like that about him and, like that idea. I've always liked that idea. Like, I've heard him tell that story many times.
Yeah.
And...
I wonder how many you'd have to make.
Yeah.
At least you have the rock tumbler and things, like...
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a slab roller or a way to...
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to use a slab roller. You could just throw out a slab and...
Oh, P.S. I'm putting this out there. If anybody's in the middle of the United States that wants a slab roller, I'm selling mine. So
Which one?
my vertical high roller.
Your high roller?
It is very nice.
I feel like there's probably not a lot of used ones out there, so...
Yeah, because people do not get rid of them, but I don't have the space now. Well, I mean, I'll have it for a while, but it's not as used as much as I'd hope it would be.
Yeah.
So
That'd be great for somebody.
yeah, so contact me if you want a high roller.
Yeah.
It's on wheels. It's not the one that's mounted to the wall. So anyway, continue.
Yeah. And I've talked a little bit about what I give out at shows. So he mentioned the, list of shows coming up.
Yeah.
But the return that I get on the little slip that I give out, that's a quarter of a page with the list of shows and the coupon at the bottom, I get almost zero return on the coupons at the bottom.
Oh, I expect nothing less. People at shows aren't online buyers.
No. You don't have to use it online. You could bring it to the next show that you see me at and use it as a coupon.
Got it.
So I'm not saying people don't look at the list and see what other shows to come to, because I do have people that come back and see me, but
yeah.
I don't know how much of it's wasted paper and how much of it is actually drawing people back. I feel like the coin idea to replace the coupon at the bottom would be a better use, because I'm better at talking to people in person than getting them to buy something online, I guess.
What would you do for your amounts for the coin?
I like the $5 thing.
$5.
He mentioned different prices depending on what they were looking at. And I would like to just standardize it, but maybe like a $3, $5. I mean, is the price point going to be the thing that brings them back, or is it going to be just the physical thing, no matter what the price is on it?
That's a good ask. I don't know.
I feel like if you just standardize it, I thought with yours with the dots, it'd be cool if you had different number of dots, and that would be the like percentage or something.
Oh, that's a great idea.
You did like 3 dots, it'd be like
$3.
$3 off, or 5 dots, or you do different colors and like different color. I mean, I don't know if people are colorblind or whatnot, but like different colors would be different things, and you'd basically just have random ones in there, and you just grab one out and give it to them.
Yeah, like 3, 5, and 8 would be fun. 3, 5, 8, and 10 or something.
Yeah. Be sweet. So I don't know if I'm gonna be making coins, but
If I okay, here's my hold on. I'm sitting I'm sitting on a stool right now and I have a pillow on it, but it's still very uncomfortable. I hate the seating situation in my house. Anyway, moving on. I
what's your situation gonna be at in a van?
hopefully better because I'm gonna get a fucking stool that has a cushion on it. That's the right height. Um, so I do feel like, to me, as far as like uh, the theology or whatever goes, um,
Psychology?
psychology.
Theology is like religion.
That's right, psychology. Or
The other ology.
the other ology goes. I okay. It does not matter to me the price of the be back coin. If it's $2, $5, $10, because they would not buy it if you didn't give them the be back coin. You know,
They would not buy it.
like if they were like, I'm gonna look around. The chances that they would come back is like 2 out of 10, right? Like
If you didn't give them the coin?
if you didn't give them the coin, the chances is that they'd come back 2 out of 10 times, right?
You think so?
Yes, I know so.
I think it depends on the show you're at.
Okay, that's true. But for me, in my experience, the chances is 2 out of 10. And but if I give them money off, I don't fucking care how much money it was because I wasn't going to sell that anyway.
Anyways.
So
yeah.
if I sell it for $20 instead of $30, I'm not going to give a shit. like
Yeah.
like
I think you're onto something there with the it's worth the money that you're going to give because it seems like you kind of appreciate that connection you made and
right.
that they're going to
So
enjoy
I
the
think that
experience.
I'd probably have mine be like $5 or $10, you know, like a little bit more substantial of a cost. Or if I had really higher price items, maybe 15, you know, like
Would it depend on what they're looking at? And maybe that's you don't
Yeah.
have a item low enough where $5 is going to make or break.
exactly. Like I think that it depends on that. Like, and also I think that if you got something from a homemade person, you know, that was like, this is $15 off, you're going to be like, great, then I can spend 15 more dollars, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would think. Like my budget is $30. That means I can spend 45, you know?
Like buy something, get the second thing half off, basically.
Basically, yeah, exactly. And I think that that is really a really good way to go, you know?
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's worth considering some people are more strict about like never discount anything?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty non. Well,
I know you're loose on that, but
I mean, I used to be super strict on no discounts, but then when I actually started making money, I was fine. I still think that it's important to, like, when you're in the beginning stages of life, of business life, it's important not to discount because that can put you in a really bad habit. Later on.
You want to be the chooser of the discount.
Yeah.
You don't want to be swayed into a discount.
Exactly.
Like they're on the verge of paying, and then they're like, "Would you do 60 instead of 75?" Or
Right.
would you,
Exactly. Like, you just feel like a fucking bag of shit when somebody does that to you. And you agree.
Because you're like, "Oh, I wouldn't have the sale otherwise. Like, I should be grateful."
Yeah. I definitely think that, yeah, you should be choosing the discounts that you do. And that's not really a discount as much as
I mean, it's a haggle from some people.
that's a haggle. No, I'm saying the coin's not as much as a discount, I feel like. It's it's like a coupon. I think that
I mean, you could say that's the same thing.
I don't
but
think so, because like a discount is like a discount is to everybody.
a discount's implied.
Yeah.
And then a coupon is on. Do you say coupon or coupon?
I say coupon, but
Coupon, yeah. Coupon. Yeah, it's something that they have to meet you in the middle a little bit.
right. So like, you know, and a discount, like discount to me is like, hey, would you do 2 for 50 instead of 1 for 40? Like, and
Yeah.
and a coupon is more of like, hey, I've chosen this to give to you, and you can use it as you please on anything.
Or you can keep
Or you
it,
can
and
keep
it's
it.
just a nice thing to have.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, very out of left field, but I found some of my pieces on eBay today.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd you find that? Somebody sent it to you?
No, I was Googling my name because I wanted to see what popped up. And also, I can't remember why. But then I was like scrolling down and there was like an old Buttercrock from like way, way, way back. And they were selling it for $24.50.
And it was under your name, Becca Otis, or was it under Five
It was
Lines
under
Pottery?
Five Lines Pottery. It was like Five Lines Pottery Buttercrock. Auburn,
Wow.
Auburn, Washington. Well, they were selling it out of Auburn, Washington, but yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. We should wrap up because we have 6 minutes. But
Oh gosh.
do you have any last words? I know it's a short episode today.
Damn it, Becca.
We're sticking to it. Also, my butt hurts, so I just want to like.
Well, that's your problem.
Well, I could get my other chair, but then we only have 5 minutes. So.
Now I feel rushed.
We don't have to. Okay, well, we can stay longer.
What about
I'm
what
just
about
gonna
the
get
other
my
selling
chair.
avenues?
I'm just gonna get my chair really quick.
All right.
Okay.
We'll let Becca's butt relax a little bit. I remember back in the day when she was doing these this chair in the office in Washington, and it would just roll away from her.
I know.
Cause it.
Do you remember when I
Yeah.
used to have this chair in my other apartment and like it was so tall that I couldn't get into it and then it would like roll away from the table because
Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
the floor wasn't level. Ugh, that was so bad.
Yeah. I was thinking about the other selling avenues. The online selling where it's just literally, you build that consistency of I'm going to have one sale. It's kind of like, I sort of relate that to Justin Rothshank does this April Fool's Day sale where everything is 50% off and he has it every single April Fool's Day. Like, how much business do you get from just having a consistent, instead of trying to ad hoc add restocks all the time?
Right.
And yeah, I don't know, the risk of the worry of like putting all the weight on one sale seems like a lot, but also you're probably way more efficient when you're building all the stock and then you're marketing it all, and it's literally one sale that you've got to like send an email out for, and
Right.
but you're kind of like putting the teasers out throughout the whole year. I kind of liked that, but I think just it seems like he focuses specifically on the in-person shows and the online sale. Like there's not many consignment, there's no wholesale. I mean, he makes different work, so, but how much, I wonder how much more, at least related to my stuff, like how much more I could have better results not trying to spread myself so thin with all the different selling avenues that I'm like, gotta do all of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
How did you have to cut out certain consignment and wholesale? You didn't really consign, but like wholesale agreements. Did you have conversations like that sometimes before you moved that you had to cut ties with?
A little bit. I mean, Jen, Urban Sprouts, she was one of my favoriteest wholesalers, and but we kept like a good like friend rapport afterwards.
Yeah. Did you have to give her like notice?
I gave her notice, a couple months.
What was the notice? Like 3 months?
Yeah, it was a while. Like I gave her a good notice.
And it was like, get your last orders in.
Yeah, it was like, hey,
That's all I can
I'm
take.
leaving. Like, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, recently I found myself reaching out to 2 or 3 wholesalers and just saying, "Hey, it's getting closer to the holidays. Let me know if you need anything."
Yeah.
And a couple of them, I mean, I think that's just good business to reach out to people that have already bought from you, but I could have hurt my time in the studio a little bit by doing that. chasing money for 50% off when I could be spending that time making stuff. And I mean, otherwise I probably would have been reacting to them contacting me later, but
Yeah.
maybe not. I don't know. It's hard. I feel like I have good relationships with most of them that, you know, in some of those situations, I probably could be giving more than I'm receiving in
Yeah.
those,
Yeah.
for the arrangements that we have with the price cuts and stuff. But I feel like that would have to be one of the things that gets cut out, you know?
Yeah. Well, once you like start selling, I'm surprised you're still doing wholesale stuff, because when you start selling as much as you do full price at shows, it's like, why would I sell
Mm-hmm.
for 50% off, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely certain wholesale items that I'm happier to wholesale
Yeah.
because they either don't sell as frequent, like cereal bowls. I get tired of looking at stacks of cereal bowls, especially if they don't really care which ones I send them.
Yeah.
And I can send them a stack of 4. And I don't. Those are the things that typically break to and from transit at shows, because the stacking them in each other. I don't know, but there's probably forms that I would like eliminate if I don't know. It's tough to be like, I want to eliminate that form completely.
Yeah.
But also it could just be like, hey, I only wholesale this, or I only make this thing for this one shop. Like I only make planters now for one shop, and that's it. And I basically haven't made planters. I haven't made small planters the whole in like a year, because I have so much bisque planters that I haven't touched.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe I don't really need to make small planters anymore.
What if I called them thups?
Thups?
Thups.
Like thumb cups?
Yeah. Thups. Anyway,
I
continue.
feel like you'd have to explain yourself.
I was listening. I was listening.
Thups.
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 Thumb cups. Thups. Yeah.
I think there's definitely certain forms that people make that you're like, I feel like I should make that too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because it's not that difficult, but
Yeah.
people have success with it. I should make that, you know?
I find that, well, I don't know if this is with everybody. I would love to hear, if you're listening to this right now, I would love to hear, message me on my Instagram account. Do you have the same experience that I do if you have a thumb cup, like a thumb indent cup? Like, I swear to God, it is revolutionary for people. like they're like, wow, how did you ever think of this? This is so amazing. Oh my God, it just fits in your thumb so easily. Did you do this on purpose? Like,
People love the oil bottles with the dents too.
oh my God, it is insane. Like, I'm like,
It's just a fucking dent, bro.
like, is it that revolutionary? Like,
I think just because it's not factory made, you're not gonna find a factory made
thumb indent.
dented cup.
Yeah, I guess so.
At least not that I know
And I'm
of.
like, I don't know if it's because my thumb indents are like pretty significant. Like, they're like,
It's like a horizontal ledge.
mine's
kind
a
of.
horizontal ledge, because that's the way that I feel like your thumb fits the easiest in. Most people just have a little bump.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious, if you have a little bump and it's not a horizontal ledge, could you tell me that if you get like the same reaction as me?
How do they know what the react? Okay.
I just said the
compared to what
reaction.
you
That was
just said.
literally
Yeah.
word for word what people say to me.
Oh my gosh.
It's quite possibly the.
Oh my god, thumb indent.
I have this. I'm not just smelling my fingers. I have this like
There, diffuser.
diffuser thing, and it smells really nice. And I put my hands on the reeds.
I never thought those reeds really did much.
I think they do.
Maybe it's just because you get familiar with it because you're around it that it just doesn't seem like it does much. But
I smell it.
yeah,
But I have it
how long have
here
you had it in
because
there?
I
The litter box?
The litter box was there and I can't handle that. Yeah. I'm gonna have to make Lloyd go up on the roof of the van to use his litter box.
A roof?
Yeah, like no. I'm gonna try and get him outside as much as possible.
Yeah.
I just can't do
I'm
smells.
sure he'll tell you about it.
Yeah. Smells are not a thing for me. Like obviously he's gonna have a litter box, but oof.
Yeah, I could see that.
Do you want to hear my dream to cap out the day? To cap out this?
Sure.
Okay. This dream was wild. Okay. So, last night I had a dream that... First, I was like... There was a lot of stuff that added up to this, but I was living in my van, and there was, like, other people living in there with me, which was really weird. And then I parked outside of this, like, health facility, like a gym. And... which is
Gym.
a gym, which is
Health
funny.
facility.
Health facility.
Have you gone to the health facility
I've been
today?
to the health facility, and it was kind of like a low key gym or whatever, but they had Aletha's gonna hear this and she's like, "You didn't say that part." And I share my dreams with her. So they had these like tracking devices where, you know, like the step trackers or whatever, but you like had to really sign into it, and then it like attached to your arm in some way, and then
Oh my gosh.
and then they had a bike race, and I had to participate in the bike race for some reason. And so like I start on this bike race. I don't know where I got the bike, but I start on this bike race and we're like going down, and it was like in California somewhere, I think. And but as we've heard in the past, my dreams are not geographically correct. That's what I meant. Not geologically correct either. So I'm like,
you and the
I
ologies.
don't know, me and words. I've just never been good with vocabulary. Anyway, so I'm like riding in my bike, and my bike breaks in half, and so then I'm like riding. Then I'm like riding with the back and the front, like connecting the back and the front, and I'm like doing okay. And then I like get to like we like go ride through Disneyland for some reason, and then like there's like stops on the way, and then I stopped at this one stop and I was like, "Do you have any tape?" He's like, "Yeah." And so I like taped my bike together. It like broke in half. Like I was riding like a unicycle, but like holding onto the back. And so like I taped it up together, and like while I was taping it, I was like, "Why are there colors on people?" And he's like, "Oh, that indicates what like where you are in the race, like if you're at the back or the front or whatever." And I was like, "What's purple?" Because that was my color. He's like, "You're losing." And I was like in the back, and I was like, "Well, what's black?" And like black was like the winners, like the leaders. And so I was like, "I'm gonna get black." And so I started like going really fast down, and my bike is fixed, and I like got up to the very front, and I was like in the top 3. And then I don't.
Why do you need colors if you're just the people that you're near are in a similar?
Why does anything happen in a dream?
That doesn't make sense. Okay, go ahead.
And
You're up in the top 3.
I was in like the top 3, and then we finally get to the halfway point of the race, and it was like a full-on food court, and like this was like a 50-mile race, might I add. Like this was a really long
With a broken bike.
fucking race with a broken bike that I was like, I'm gonna have to take this back because I just bought it. And so we get to this food court, and there was like full steaks that you could like cook, and like full meals that you could cook, and all these things. And I'm like looking at all this food, and I was like, no, I want to be a winner. And so I like grabbed like a protein shake and like continued on my race. And then we looped around, and we had to go back like the way we came. And when we were going back, there was obstacles. There was like obstacles that we had to get through in order to like continue on the race. And like they would be like, you'd pull up and the person next to you and be like, which one is taller? You can continue. The short person has to stay for 5 minutes. And and like I got through like the first two without having to like stay, and then the next one I had to stay, and then I like continued on. I don't think that I actually finished the race, but I was like in the front. I was like leading. Funny enough, I was also the same physique I am now, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. And so yeah, that was the race. That was.
So what were the takeaways from that?
There are never any takeaways from my dreams.
No takeaways.
No, my takeaways are don't have depression.
Finish the race, Becca.
Finish the race. But yeah, it was pretty gnarly. Like there was a lot that led up to it, but yeah.
I feel like I had a dream the other day. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was like I kind of like half woke up, and then you like go back. You're like, okay, I got to go back into it so I can see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. I love going.
You know, I
back
can't
in.
leave it hanging here. I gotta like let it keep progressing because it
Absolutely.
was kind of weird.
Yeah, I can't remember if I was like doing almost better when the bike was broken or worse.
I mean, you got up to the top, so somehow.
Yeah. Well, look, I was also going to show you today. I had to find a cup to put some of my hand building stuff because this is where I make all of my earrings. And I have a vintage.
Ooh, that's an RD Ceramics, baby.
That's a vintage RD Ceramics. I think that this might
Look at that foot.
I think that this might actually be our first trade.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that foot is terrible, but
Yeah.
wow.
It's a rolled bottom, rolled rim, and then you bumped in the bottom.
Oh, I
It's
did.
got this nice,
The handle's all right.
nice little
The
stand.
handle could be a little bit.
You've always been a good handler. I like your handles.
Yeah, that's probably pretty balanced.
Yep. So that's my holder.
Nice.
Perfect. It's perfect.
That's great. Yeah. All right. Nice little recap today. I kind of like this little recap who we talked to kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I think that I was thinking that it might be good to do that. Start doing that. If we have like a really long, in-depth discussion, because there's just a lot, especially like Tim talked a lot, which is what we want. You know, we don't want to
Right.
necessarily interject our opinions as much because then he talks less. You know,
Thing is, I felt like I talked a lot though.
you talked a fair amount. I feel like, but you know, what I'm saying is that like we don't necessarily interject a ton of conversation of ours into the interview.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have like a little recap.
I know I've gotten better about that. Like, listening back over time and like letting it breathe a little bit. I can also ask very pointed questions that don't have much open-endedness to them. But
Also, I think it's always funny when we have a guest that doesn't listen to the podcast, and then you ask a question, and they're like, "What?" like they're like,
what do you mean?
they're like, "I don't know what you mean by that," and I'm like, "Oh, you don't listen to Ryan questions very often, because you're
I also ask things where it's like, this is the way I think
Yeah.
about it. Do you think that way?
And it's
Like,
nope.
make me feel sane here. And they're like, I don't think, what? No, I'm not thinking of it that way.
Exactly. It's so funny. I think it's funny. I just like watching.
That's true.
I
did ask that yesterday when I was talking about like Instagram and seeing like around people, seeing other people succeed and like do better
Yeah.
and progress, and if that makes any impact on whether you feel like that's part of the community that you appreciate is seeing them
yeah.
working their way up while you're working your way up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. That was.
yeah, just me. It's like, no, I don't think of it that much. I just,
I just
Do
do
it.
it.
you know.
It's great. I love it. Okay. Well, have a great week.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to Colorado on Friday. Don't forget. So,
Yes.
I'm
I
gonna-
have it on my calendar.
I guess I'm going to be using earphones for when we do our podcast next week.
That's fine.
So.
Yeah, I can do the same, so they sound equal.
Yeah, I just have to find earphones. So, woo. Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Yo, yiggity yo. It's Becca here. Hey, just so you know, thank you for listening. And also, we have... What do we have again? A Patreon. We have a Patreon that you should go, and if you want to donate to, you could donate to it. If you don't, that's cool too. But just Google Wheel Talk Podcast Patreon. Don't do the other one, because there is a Wheel Talk on Patreon, but it's not us. So make sure you get the right one. It's in the show notes. And also, leave us a review because they're fun to read. Okay, bye!